I'm Rhett, Captain of the Custodians, and today I'm going to be reacting to the first episode of what I believe is Season 9 of Death Battle, that being Harley Quinn versus Jinx from League of Legends. Now, I was actually kind of worried about watching this one. I hadn't seen all of Arcane. That's no longer a problem. But Harley Quinn, I guess I would still say I know the most about Harley Quinn. I'm not the biggest fan of her, at least as a solo character. I like her when she is with the Joker. I'm not the biggest fan of Harley Quinn. But I would have to say I like Jinx more now because of a certain television show on Netflix. Who would win in a fight? I know so little about Jinx, but Harley Quinn is a DC character, which means there's probably at least eight feats where she has, massively faster than light reaction and has, busted a planet. So I would probably put my money on Harley Quinn, but I would rather have Jinx win, But again, the average civilian in Marvel and DC is massively faster than light and is at least planetary. So Harley Quinn is, Harley Quinn, you could probably find a scan that makes her universal. I don't know, she probably, hit Superman over the head with a baseball bat and made his head move and he went, ow. So she's clearly, a high tier, at least in terms of attack output. Isn't versus stuff just fun? But hey, why don't we just get started, huh? Let's see who wins. Before we do, please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our social medias, links at the top of the description, like Twitter and Twitch. I stream every Friday and Sunday, though I will be streaming tonight at the time of recording this. But I take that back because I don't know if I'll actually be able to edit this in time. Friday and Sunday. On Fridays, I stream our Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke, and then on Sunday, I read Tokyo Ghoul Re and My Hero Academia Vigilantes. So follow us on Twitch. Then if you would, please support us on Patreon to get a shot during the video. Boom! Right there. Look at all those massively faster than light patrons. I bet those guys can bust planets, as well as access to Patreon exclusive polls, our Discord, and I would like to say full-length early reactions, but I'm so behind on those that I'm not gonna say those yet until I have that catalog re-updated. Though there is a special bonus to Patreon that is coming that I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's big. So let's get started. This is Harley Quinn versus Jinx, the Death Battle. Jinx from League of Legends, not Jinx from DC. Jinx would win that fight, I'm sure. Alright, on go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Harley Quinn, DC's fantabulous
The Fortnite
hero.
Jinx,
version.
the
Wow.
League of Legends.
We live in a society that adheres to strict laws and norms.
We said it.
But these two ladies
We
turn
got
that
it.
system on
We
its
got
head
the
with their
society.
wild enthusiasm. Family in the heart of
We are
Brooklyn,
starting with
USA.
Harleen Quinzel.
Harleen Quinzel had long lived a life of mediocrity.
You know what?
And high school
I'm not
life
the biggest
sucked.
fan of them
Even
making
more
Harley
than
Quinn like a
She never
superhero.
quite
I'm fine with the
But
redemption
despite
arc, but
this,
like them,
Harleen knew she was destined
people that treat Harley
for
Quinn like like an anti-hero or like a hero. Like, fun fact, if you didn't know, Harleen Quinzel or Harley Quinn is a Batman the Animated Series original character.
Unspeakable history as a homicidal clown and Jared Leto, she came to realize one
Which is worse.
truth.
The
Let's be
Joker
real here.
was actually wrongfully harassed by that son of a bitch, Batman.
This
Absolutely.
was the first skin via chemical baptism.
I'm an
and
idea.
joining him on his life of crime.
I should
Descending into
tattoo a
love like
captain's hat
madness
or
and reborn
reactor
as
onto
the
my forehead.
fantastic Harley Quinn.
And she was packing plenty of tools of maniacal mayhem.
A baseball bat.
Hammers, electric buzzers, and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana cream pie.
Standard firearms.
Evil of all pie flavors.
When she was
There's gotta be something, right? Come on, like, oh yeah, she added Extremis or fucking Venom to her standard kit, and now she's fucking Superman tier. Or she, oh god, an ad. I would get an ad blocker, but like, I get paid from ads, so I feel wrong getting one. Because I want you guys to watch my ads. How can I justify getting an ad blocker?
even keep up with experts like Deadshot
Maybe
and
Jinx just doesn't have that much
Even
shit that's
Batman,
also impressive.
The peak human superhero that can dodge lightning and survive this alien
Oh,
device
here we go.
exploding, which obliterated multiple city blocks.
Why does that have to matter? I hope they're not like, oh, well, she's like basically Batman. Batman can survive Omega beams and shit.
Fucking rocket and launched her halfway across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no, it's not you, it's me.
dedicated
there we go.
her
Poison
entire
ivy
life to.
enhancements.
Until
There we go.
human strength and a healing factor.
I suppose a healthy relationship
Lovely.
can sometimes feel like your own superpower in and of itself. Self as a famous
So,
anti-hero, leading
I've-
teams like the Gotham Sirens and Suicide Squad. She worked on developing
Those
new skills
anti-heroes,
built
the
her own
Suicide
rather than
Squad.
their past. Laugh until they suffocate.
Harley was
the
clearly
anti-hero.
on top of the world.
Now you might be thinking, Rhett, Punisher's an anti-hero, and he's like way worse. I don't care much for Punisher.
With the Amazons, just like her favoriteest superhero, Wonder Woman.
Entire palm tree out of the ground with her
Holy
bare hands. Based on the size
Jesus!
of the tree and the weight of an average palm by foot, that weighs about 600 pounds. And she can hold it one-handed.
And she's
so her
lifting the
actions
entire
can
tree
probably
off
at
the
least
ground.
twice as
Beast
much.
couldn't even do that.
Full-grown brown bear world apocalypse. You know, the
This shit's pretty
ruled by
tame
the
so
living
far.
embodiment of evil. Even the actual
Became a psychiatrist again. And
Popularity will
legitimately
do that
started
to you.
helping other vigilantes with trauma, like Jason Todd, who definitely needed that.
In fact, the Bat family she used to antagonize and ridicule eventually.
I'm sorry I have to pause it. Is that weird to anybody else that you would get therapy from, as Jason Todd from Harley Quinn? Like, maybe there is some kind of, like, benefit there? Like, I don't know. I'm not a fucking therapist. But, like, she was, you know, working with the man that did that. Maybe there's, like, some kind of joint healing going on there, but I don't know. I feel like that's, like, you know, you're too close to the subject. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know how I feel about that. Again, I'm not a therapist. Maybe it was a superbly written scene and, you know, absolute tearjerker or something, and it makes perfect sense. That seems wrong to me. All right, let's get back to it.
They accepted her as kind of an extended member of their group.
I will.
Teamed up with her to
Okay,
save
sorry,
them.
pausing it again. I will never have Harley Quinn be part of the Bat family. I'm sorry. Nope. That's one step too far. She can be like, no. She can't even be like Catwoman. Catwoman is absolutely kind of a Bat family person. No, sorry, wrong. Again, who knows? Maybe I'm just, you know, a hater or something, and it's like, well, there's like 30, you know, 50, 80 issues of Harley Quinn having this gloriously fantastic character arc, and, you know, it makes perfect sense. As somebody looking from the outside, wrong, bad, stop. This... Okay, let's get back to it.
Them from her toxic ex. Good for her. Guess we're not going to talk about when she went back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
In the end, she may
Nah.
be a little nutty, but you'd be mad not to love Harley Quinn.
I am insane. Then.
Uptight topsiders a taste of their own
Whole new
medicine,
lore, arcane, and
menacing
various
its
emotional
people with
trailers of Pick the
bombs,
Leads cast.
gunfire, and even more bombs. This
Okay.
was Jinx.
Jinx destroyed Zeppelins, Jumanji'd the shit out of the local zoo, and switched the street signs. What a monster! Now those monkeys will never find their way back.
Only the armed with massive gauntlets weighing over 4,000 pounds each,
Fuck!
could not definitively overcome Jinx's magnificent arsenal of mechanical monstrosities.
Man, they're so
Nice
evenly
alliteration.
matched. Upper grenades.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher.
But
So much
does
so
she have a
rides
plant
like
mommy that
rocket
gives her
powered bubble
superpowers?
stick. Well, that seems even less safe.
Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Braum, a guy who can shake
Jesus.
mountains with a punch. But she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made.
Eh, mountain's
She's
nowhere
even
near close to
created
planetary.
Hex Tech, funky science powered by magic crystals.
The League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game forged in the flames of LAN parties and
Is this an ad?
tier with the
What the
best possible items.
Yeah, and the worst mistake you can make is being new. God, it's the midterms all over again. No, boomsticks,
Oh,
stay
is this-
in your lane. What are you doing in the jungle?
Are
Stop it,
these
feeder.
Jinx's
hers?
ideal loadouts include Phantom Dance.
Okay.
which can phase through objects after
That-
landing a blow.
That
I'd like
seems...
to phase out of this conversation.
Alright, shut your
There's the
face. That seemed a lot like a fucking ad.
Which protects her from status effects like sleep, paralysis, and poison. This includes forced action.
So there's the
Make you
laughing
do
gas
things that
neutralization.
Don't want to do.
Thus, she became
Such a good show.
When the
Holy
sisters
shit.
reunited,
that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
Okay, so there's
Similar
the
side
physical...
effects intensified her prior trauma, making her much more unhinged and prone to attacking with lethal intent.
And its even more volatile cousin, Chemtech.
That's even more
Hey,
explosive.
Fallout?
I forgot how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway, Both Hextech and Chemtech are comparable in power.
Damn,
to
I gotta watch
natural
some of these
magic.
leak trailers.
On par with what a badass mage like Lux is able to cast, such as Lucent Singularity, which can totally body these big old rocks.
Measuring their width with Lux's height,
But can
we
she
determine
do that?
She destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30.
Because I imagine not all
Promotional
Chemtech shit
trailers
is
show Mega
equivalent.
Death Rocket matching the speed and power of Lux's final spark.
Okay, well, there you
A
go.
much more
Okay,
powerful
good.
attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
That when things get boring and uptight, Jinx will be there to shake things up.
I gotta rewatch this show.
This episode
Okay.
is sponsored by BetterHelp.
So during the BetterHelp ad, let's see. They didn't really do much to, like, quantify how much their physical... Well, okay, well, Harley Quinn can lift an 800-pound tree. That's something. But Jinx, we didn't really get too much from her in terms of, like, her actual physical capabilities. Maybe they'll be like, she can match Vi, maybe, and, you know, because Vi had those, like, what was it, like, 8,000-pound gauntlets or something? There was, like, 1,000-pound, whatever. Maybe it's like, oh, well, she was able to take hits from that, so it's you know, easy to say that she'd be able to withstand hits from Harley Quinn, who can lift an 800-pound tree. It's not a good conversion, but maybe. Attack output, we did, again, so, you know, Vi can teleport. Jinx also has the ability to negate poisons, so no laughing gas win, no nothing like that. Harley's got regen, but, like, how good is her regen? Like, you know, we got, like, Hulk, Deadpool, Wolverine styles of regens where you can just blow the person apart and they can just bloop, 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 bloop. Or is it just kind of like, oh, I heal, like, a normal wound that would typically heal in, like, 6 months heals for me in 6 minutes, 6 seconds. But if I get my head chopped off, I'm diggity dead. That's assuming what's going on there. They meant that thing where, like, she was, like, on Apocalypse and that, but, like, would you really give that to her? Like, I wouldn't really necessarily call that standard gear. Or, like, something that she could typically call upon, because then it's like, could you not give, like, in every Batman fight, like, the Hellbat suit? Or, like, you know, fucking... Well, I guess they did give Thanos the Infinity Gauntlet. But, now, the big chem tech cannon thingy was able to match that one lady's, you know, superpower light thing. So the missile it's got to be something relativistic. I think that's what they were going for. But they said that, like, Harley is on par with Batman, which I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. But, you know, like, Harley has, you know, she's on par with Batman, at least that's what they've stated, at least in terms of agility. And so, you know, Batman has dodged, like, point blank lightning or shit like that. Batman's dodged it, all right? Whatever it is, I'm sure Batman's dodged it. And so they could probably scale her to that speed. I guess I'm not quite sure how Harley Quinn's, like, armory stacks up to Jinx's. Jinx's seems a lot more devastating. I know I joked about it earlier, but, like, you know, one of Harley Quinn's key items is a baseball bat or a big mallet. Now, I know, you know, she has the gun that can do a bunch of other things, but, like, it's like a Gatling gun on the other side. It's like one of the standard kits, a giant missile. I guess, I don't know. I want Jinx to win, but I think I'm still going to lean to Harley Quinn, just because, you know, they might be like, oh, well, the missile's, you know, relativistic in speed, but there's this one thing in Injustice where Harley Quinn dodged the Flash, so she's, you know, irrelevant speed. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with, Harley Quinn's going to win, but I'd rather have Jinx win, so I'd like to be wrong. All right. BetterHelp, thank you. Let's get this over with. Also, yeah, that ad, that was weird. I almost thought that we were in, like, a Squarespace ad for a second, but it was for League. Kind of like how they did the Boys commercial advertisement fight. All right, here we go. We're getting the last little dredges. There we go. All right, let's get started.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Wow, are we doing a CG fight? For these two?
And they say these games are rigged. What?
Okay. Not exactly would have been.
Screw you, you emo pigeons! I'll show you a murder! Oh, I just love exploding stuff. Heh, I like exploding stuff too.
Let's kill each other! Okay. Ooh, Torian do this? I know he didn't, but...
I'm trying to shoot you!
Yeah, okay, so yeah, she had...
She's right behind you.
Aw, thanks, pal. Traitor!
Uh-huh. That was funny, but not, like, funny enough to get me to laugh out loud, so...
Got a light? Oh, sure thing.
I assume that's gonna be the humor for the most of this, like... Alright. Oh, jeez, okay. That is a long fuse. I gotta say, I do enjoy the environment. Like, it fits. Yeah, like she can phase through things, good. And then this is where they have the pogo versus rocket jump thingy.
Got any games? No! My save file!
Wait, what? Fuck was that? Is that Blade Runner? Not Blade Runner, fucking Fifth Element?
That's unfortunate.
An ad during the fight?
Sorry, Soldier Doodad. To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume.
Okay, but... So they're kind of making Joker Venom the same thing as the super juice that she got, the Bane Venom? Damn. What are they? Is that... Come on! Have her head hit the thing. Have her head hit the thing.
Get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill. Nah, bye.
Okay, I like that. They tried to have, Harley tried to, get her to come closer so she could buzz her, but Jinx doesn't give a fuck. Okay. I like that. And they did it! Okay! Woo!
Don't just stand there, Jinx. You just want a free teddy bear. What if it's Timbers?
This was a complicated...
Okay, and I know they're gonna talk about it, and I know I just don't want to talk over it, and yada yada yada, but I like that. So, they were trying to get, they established that, Harley Quinn likes to use her ability to psychoanalyze people and get them to do what she wants. Kind of similar to what the Joker did to Sweet Tooth in their fight. And, she was readying the buzzer, so when Jinx was like, oh, you're absolutely right, I'm gonna blow you up from close, I want to see the emotions on your face, so she could buzz her, get the win, yada yada yada, but of course Jinx is like, no, and blows her up, because I like that! Thumbs up!
Fight with far more factors to consider than at first blush. Harley had more direct combat experience against superpowered beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's physical power, diabolical weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this Harlequin duck.
Yeah.
While Harley lifting over 1,200 pounds is impressive.
Off the ground!
Jinx can compete with Vi, whose gauntlets weigh 8 times that.
Yeah, okay!
Jinx can
All
take
right,
hits
so that's
from a
exactly
guy
how they
who
went
can
with it.
shake mountains. A bit beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley
Well, Mountain
may
Tier is
have been
nothing
more
close to
naturally
planetary,
acrobatic,
so.
But Jinx's hex tech and intangibility matched and outclassed that mobility. The teleporting tablet alone could control the entire fight, since Jinx could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had a moderate healing factor, she's never regenerated entire body parts before.
Okay.
So a big enough kaboom would definitely kill her. And Jinx's weapons were strong enough to do just that. In order to destroy over 13,000 tons of rock from such a distance,
Yeah,
Jinx's
alright.
magic explosion would need a yield of about 20
510,
kilotons of
manly.
TNT.
And Jinx's Hextech and Chemtech are similar to
Damn,
magic and
I
speed.
guess I just have to watch
Even
some of
if
these
we scale
goddamn
Harley's durability to Batman
animations,
surviving
don't
this
I?
Massive explosion, the potency of Jinx's weaponry outpaces it more than 300 times.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force.
Well, those
Plus, Jinx is typically
two different kinds of
distrusting
intelligence,
people she's
think?
just met, so Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, Harley still had her wide array of poisons and chemical agents,
Those were
like
not
Joker
effective.
Venom, which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool of Zon, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much higher than a normal person. Not to mention, the Quicksilver
I
Sash
would've-
would simply end any unwanted effect on her.
I would just done
Ultimately,
that.
Harley couldn't stand up to Jinx's physical power,
wouldn't go with something
superior
that's
technology, or
unfounded.
overwhelmingly explosive arsenal.
Harley clowned around only to get her bell rung by someone out of her league.
The winner is Jinx.
Okay, but before we go into the next thing, yeah, I wouldn't use that as like any kind of thing in a debate. You know, like if I live in a high smog area and it's just like bad on your lungs to breathe it in, you're not exactly building up a tolerance to cyanide at the same time. That's not how that works. If anything, you know, just being raised in a highly toxic environment is just bad for you all the way through. I wouldn't use that. I would have just said the sash that makes you impervious to poisons. That would have been the only thing I brought up. That wouldn't have been like, she grew up in an area that is not exactly, you know, FDA approved. Okay, but who's next? I hope it's not the Tanjiro one, because I can't watch Tanjiro one.
Death Battle is back, and we've launched a brand new membership.
I
program
missed
for
this
our
stuff,
YouTube
you know? It wasn't
channel.
gone
By
too
directly
long.
supporting our team, you'll get unique emotes,
But I love
badges,
talking about this kind of
content,
nerdy
and
shit.
more. Click that join button to see more info, and thanks for watching.
Alright, who is it? Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. Oh, God. Oh, no. Why? 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 And they're gonna go over shit from WandaVision, aren't they? No, this is a double... Okay, so... I'm not the biggest fan of, let's say, reality warpers. As characters, I like Zatanna a lot. In versus debates, I don't like... Okay, let's just say this. I'm more upset about Scarlet Witch than I am about Zatanna, and it has actually nothing to do with WandaVision. If you're new here, I despise that show. At least, you know, the first 3 episodes are actually pretty good. You should watch the first 3 episodes and pretend that nothing continued. I'm not the biggest fan of Scarlet Witch because Scarlet Witch is like a solid B, a high B to low A tier in power. But then like every like once in a while, they'll remember that they did House of M, and which catapulted her to like absolute high tier power for like, you know, like a week. And so, you know, Wanda has these, oh, Wanda fucking rewrote the entire multiverse so that there was like a 1% mutant population across the entire multiverse. And then, you know, early, like, you know, 2 weeks later when they're done with that, it's like, oh, you know, Wanda, she's really strong. She can cast, like, hex stuff. She's, like, kind of like, you know, red Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange does a lot more flashy stuff with, like, you know, different colors. You know, Wanda will just do red stuff. You know, that's kind of my biggest... And I know what you're thinking. Right, you can do that with every character. Like, remember, isn't that... There's a point in time where Hulk, you know, just randomly punches a universe and explodes, and then the next time he's, like, having trouble tagging Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, but the Hulk destroying universes stuff is still far more frequent than the Wanda rewriting all of reality stuff. But, you know, but she's done it, so you have to keep it into account, right? You can't just go, well, we're not counting that, because it happens, and it's whenever she does it, it's a big, continuity thingy in the stories, like House of M, huge, yada yada yada. And but I just it annoys me. It's an entirely personal take. There's nothing objective about my dislike of Scarlet Witch. And then of course there's the really bad Scarlet Witch show. That doesn't help. Zatanna, most of my experience with Zatanna comes from the Young Justice TV show, in which she is a child and not nearly as strong as she probably is in the comics. But she's a wizard in DC. Like, again, here's kind of Marvel and DC obviously have some of the best versus options out there. They've been around the longest, and like some of these are some of the most iconic fights in history that you could talk about. Like, oh man, Hulk versus Doomsday, Thor versus Superman, all these things are like huge, like so they're, in fact, any Marvel versus DC fight may only be seconded maybe by Superman versus Goku. That's maybe the only one that's higher than some of the bigger name fights from Marvel and DC. My issue is that it's never kind of like the averaged version of the character. It's like, oh, average Hulk versus average Superman. It's this one time Superman punched the author. This means that he is, he is beyond conceptual in strength. And, Hulk, this one time, like, he punched so hard the edges of the comic exploded and he could see the next panel. And it's like, oh, well, so he's that. And I'm just nerd raging right now. But Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna, I don't know too much about either. Kind of like what happened in this, I was kind of quiet, and I apologize for that. And, I just have to get the death battle wheels turning a little bit more. But I didn't know too much about either character. But Scarlet Witch and Zatanna, I think I might, in totality, know less. At least in terms of what they can do. So I'm just going to be sitting there. Is this going to be kind of like Doctor Strange versus Dr. Fate again? Where it's just like, yeah, I could basically go either way. They both can, pull, multiverses out of a hat and shit and, turn your bones into, Twizzlers. So it's kind of just like, if we get rid of the magic, Dr. Fate has like a better physical feat. So we think he will win like 6 out of 10 times or something. Is that going to be kind of like this? Because I know so little about these characters. Or, although I guess, like, what does Zatanna have that can match the peak Scarlet Witch? Like, how many can Zatanna, like, rewrite the multiverse? Or maybe are they going to be like, well, every time Wanda's rewrote the multiverse, there was, like, some kind of amplifier, or she didn't really have complete control of what she was doing? Or maybe Zatanna at one point was, like, a Lord of Order, and so she'll have, like, Dr. Fate stuff? I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rhett, Captain of the Custodians, and this was Harley Quinn versus Jinx. Like, comment, subscribe, I guess. Thanks for watching. It's fun having Death Battle back. Bye-bye.